How many of you like the Beach Boys? Well, we did a transformation. How many people were here during Christmas? The Christmas concert that we had. We were Shaboom back then. We were a 50s doo-wop group, and so now we're the Beach Boys. But since there already is a Beach Boys, we came up with our own name. We're called the Beach Bums. And hopefully we have some good Beach Boys fans out there. We're going to do some of their very traditional type harmonies. And I've also got some fun facts and features about the Beach Boys. See how well you know the Beach Boys. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And I just want to let you know this first song is called Barbara Ann. And we have our very own Barbara Ann in the group. This is Barbara Ann on the piano.
Looking for romance, saw Barbara Ann, so I thought I'd take a chance on Barbara Ann. Take my hand, Barbara Ann, take my hand. You got me rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling, Barbara Ann, Barbara Ann,
Barbara Ann,
Barbara Ann.
Dance. We got lots of room out here for you to shake it up.
Tried Peggy Sue, tried Betty Lou, tried Mary Lou, but I knew she wouldn't do. Barbara Ann, take my hand, Barbara Ann, take my hand. You got me rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling, Barbara Ann, Barbara Ann,
Barbara Ann,
Barbara Ann. You got me rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling, Barbara Ann, 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 Barbara Ann. You got me rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling, Barbara Ann, Barbara Ann.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Sorry about that. We do have a drummer and a bass player, but we thought that'd be a little bit overwhelming in this room, so we brought the little miniature ones that are in that little box over there. So sometimes they just take off by themselves.
Or not at all.
Well, East Coast girls are hip. I really dig those styles they wear. And Southern girls with the way they talk, they knock me out when I'm down there.
The Midwest farmer's daughter really makes me feel alright.
And the Northern girls with the way they kiss, they keep the boyfriends warm at night. I wish they all could be California. I wish they all could be California. I wish they all could be
many born and bred and raised in California girls do we have out there? Woo! There's the real California girls there.
Well, it's been building up inside of me for I don't know how. I don't know why, but I keep thinking something's bound to go wrong. But she looks in my eyes, makes me realize that she's so worried. Don't worry, baby, don't worry. She looks in my eyes, makes me realize what she said. Don't worry, baby, everything will turn out alright. Don't worry, baby, she told me, baby, when you race today, just take along my love with you. And if you knew how much I love you, baby, nothing could go wrong with you. She looks in my eyes and makes me realize what she said. Don't worry, baby. Everything will turn out alright. Don't worry, baby.
We kind of mulched the ending there. Anyway, keep in mind, we're not the real Beach Boys.
Not even close.
Okay, how many Beach Boys fans, like real Beach Boys fans? Who can name the Beach Boys? Brian? Carl? Dennis? Mike Love? And Al Jardine replaced, the original members, Brian Dennis and Carl Wilson, were all brothers, and Mike Love is their cousin. And who? Dave Marks. Was he one of the later ones? Okay. Can anybody name any of the initial names of the Beach Boys before they became the Beach Boys? Actually had a couple of different names. Carl and the Passions. Anybody heard that? Kenny and the Cadets, and the Pendletones, and that was named after the shirt, the Pendleton, and somebody came up with that. So what actually happened, the reason they came up with the name the Beach Boys was when they submitted a demo, somebody had wrote just in handwriting on top the style of music, and they said these are the Beach Boys, and they just wrote that on their demo tape, and everybody loved it, and that became the name of the band. So that was not even a name that they came up with. A crazy little thing, background of the Beach Boys. Dennis Wilson. This story really cracks me up. And this Charlie Manson. Everybody knows who Charlie Manson is. Well, Dennis Wilson became friends with him and allowed him to come and stay in his house at one point. And he was leasing this house. And Charlie Manson at that time was an aspiring songwriter, I guess. And matter of fact, they actually even recorded one of Charlie Manson's songs at some point, or at least Dennis did. But anyway, after a short while, I got to read this to you because it's funny the way they say it. He let his friend stay at his, Charlie Manson and his friend stayed at his place. When it became clear that Manson was not of sound mind, the understatement of the year, Dennis was afraid to evict him, so he let the lease end on the house and never came back to it. So basically, it was his house, and Charlie was there, and he just packed up and kind of disappeared. And so Charlie was evicted down the road, but Dennis was nowhere to be found. And we all know what happened to him after that. This next song actually is based on a true story. The Beach Boys were in a studio and they were recording this. The next song is called Fun, Fun, Fun. And till her daddy takes the T-Bird away. And they were listening to a story of somebody in the radio station was talking about this girl who actually had done this. Her father had a nice T-Bird, and he would let her drive it. And she told him she was going to the library, and she didn't go to the library. She took off and had fun with her friends. And guess what Daddy did? He took the T-Bird away. So it truly is based on a true story.
My buddies and me are getting real well known. Yeah, the bad guys know
Now that makes it fun. Okay, you guys got to get back out there. Next, we have a mellow song coming up right now, but the next one, anybody wants to do some slow dancing, this is the time. Could somebody bring me a cup of water, please? I assure you that high note on the previous song, that's the highest I got. And I only hit that one on good days.
Road crew.
Yeah, this one without the track.
There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to. In my room, in my room, in my room. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. In my room, in my room, in my room. To my dreaming and my singing, lie awake and pray. To my crying and my sighing, laugh at yesterday. Now it's dark and I'm alone, but I won't be afraid. In my room, in my room, in my room, in my room. In my room, in my
How many people remember that song? I loved that song when I was a kid. One of the things that Brian said about writing that song, his father was, if you know the story about him, his father was pretty mean, and he kind of felt like his room was his place of escape, where he could really just feel safe and be himself. So really, that song meant a lot to him, and I know a lot of us feel that way. We have a place or something about us that, you know, where we can go somewhere and do something and really feel secure and peaceful and relaxed. And I think I really related to that song when I heard that, because as a kid I always kind of felt that way. My room was my place, my little safe place. Oh, you have a room like that?
Makes people feel there.
Does your mom and dad let you stay there long?
Can't pass up a come on like that.
Okay, who remembers the 1960s? Was everybody here around in the 1960s?
I was in kindergarten
Yeah.
when the Beatles came.
I got some fun facts of the 1960s. American U-2 spy plane shot down over USSR. Remember that in the news?
Gary Powers.
What's that?
It was Gary Powers who was a pilot.
Yeah.
He wasn't flying it, was he?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
The U-2?
Yep.
Wow. That's great. We have his history in here. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Remember Psycho? The laser was invented in 1960. The first televised presidential debates. And the twist, Chubby Checker. Were you guys doing a little of that out there, the twist? We got to see some people out here doing the twist. 1961, the Berlin Wall was built. President Kennedy moves into the White House and makes his famous speech. I don't think that was it.
Well, that was one of them.
Ask not
What?
your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. He also established the Peace Corps at that time.
I am a pastry.
And the American troops arrived in Vietnam. Marilyn Monroe was found dead. This is 1962. Cuban Missile Crisis. John Glenn, first American to orbit the Earth. 1963, Martin Luther King makes his famous speech.
I have a dream.
You guys got that one. November 22nd, Kennedy was assassinated. 1964, the Beatles were popular in the United States. Interesting thing about the... how many of you guys were like wrapped up in Beatlemania? Were any?
We got next year's program. Yeah.
I read a thing about a girl that were in Beatlemania. Remember how the girls used to, when they saw the Beatles, they go, ah! And they do that through the whole concert, and they wouldn't even listen to the music because they would just cry and scream when they saw them. And there's somebody that I know that was talking about it. She said, I went to it, and I was determined I was just going to listen to their music because I like their music. I like the Beatles. And she said she sat in the stands and she saw the screaming come back like a wave from the front of her. And she said, somehow when it hit me, I started doing it too. So I guess, the whole Beatlemania thing with the girls screaming and everything, it would just, you couldn't stop it. You couldn't, even if you were there and you didn't want to do it, you'd still get sucked up into it. The other piece of trivia is the Beach Boys were very, very popular in the 60s. They were like one of the #1 bands in America. And they were very threatened by the whole, British invasion, and especially the Beatles, because the Beatles really came in strong all of a sudden. Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, becomes world heavyweight champion. You remember what he used to say?
Dance like a butterfly.
Dance like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Hasbro launches G.I. Joe action figures. How many guys, come on, admit it, played with G.I. Joes?
It's not a doll. It's an action figure.
It's not a doll.
How about my kids did?
I see more girls raising their hands. 1965, Japan's bullet train opens, Los Angeles riots. The Watts riots lasted 6 days, and that was sad. And a lot of bad things happened in the 60s. 1966, mass draft protests in the United States. And one of my favorite shows, the Star Trek. Who likes Star Trek? Any Trekkies in here? Yay, I'm glad somebody's... I love Star Trek. Okay, I've got some more for later, but... That's okay. Larry's heard all of these before. Well, Gary's got a fancy little sports car. Tell us about your car, Gary. What is it again?
Oh, it's a 1961 Austin Healey 3000 Roadster.
How many of you guys have seen his little flashy little car that he
white
drives around? Yeah. Well, this is a song called Little Deuce Coupe, and it's about a little car kind of like Gary's. Not like Gary's, but
It's a
kinda
hot
like
rod.
it. Hot rod, yeah.
Frank knows.
Maybe not as little. Did anybody have a Deuce Coupe? Anybody here have one when they were younger? Deuce Coupe?
It's on one downtown.
I have to help Barbara with her son. This
Too many.
keyboard over here is too high tech for her.
Most pianos don't have buttons like that.
Yeah.
We got it.
Okay, here we go.
That's all right.
So we're gonna
We got to start right off the bat here.
four counts and then we all come in.
It's a non-union band, you know. Hey.
Yeah, it's these.
You don't know what I know, what I
good about these songs, if you're a dancer, you don't have to worry about getting worn out because they're not real long songs. Okay, some more trivia here. 1967 was the first heart transplant. Anybody here had one of those? Huh? Oh, you know specifics about it. First Super Bowl was the Green Bay Packers and Kansas City Chiefs. Who won that? Who remember? Oh, you footballs. Yeah, Green Bay won, yeah.
Vince Lombardi.
3 U.S. astronauts were killed during a simulated launch. First, okay, here's a good one. First handheld calculator invented by Texas Instruments. Take a guess how much it was.
$700.
No,
Higher.
$2,500 for the first handheld calculator. People like throw them around and give them away now. Isn't that something? Yeah, you can get them in a cereal box now. 1968, Robert Kennedy was assassinated and Martin Luther King assassinated. 1969, Woodstock. How many of you were at Woodstock?
Nobody? You can tell this is the West Coast.
Yeah. What? 500,000 people showed up for that concert. Phenomenon that what actually was amazing too at that time. There was like almost no injuries or any problems of any kind. It really was back in those days. Yeah, it was happy and peaceful, and people came to hear the music. You can't do that nowadays. Yeah. And then July, a man walks on the moon. 1969, a man walked on the moon, and we also put an estimated over 500,000 American troops in Vietnam. How many of you remember hot pants?
Yeah.
How many wore them? See, more people are going to say they remember them than say they wore them. I better not see any guys. Mini skirts, remember mini skirts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, here's some interesting things. What things cost? 26-inch boys bicycle, girls bicycle for $29.95. Can you buy a bike for $29.95? 45s. How many people were into? I was totally into 45s, because as a kid, I could go down to the store with just like change in my pocket and find my favorite song on a 45. I remember. You guys remember your first 45 that you bought? What was it? Tears of a Clown. Tears of a Clown. Du-du-du-du-du-du. What else? Pacific Palisades. What do you remember? Now or never. It's now or never. What else? Anybody else remember that? Venus and Blue Jeans. I remember the title. I don't remember. Sing part of it.
Who sang it?
Blueberry Hill, I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill. Everybody could sing that one. Yeah, 54 cents each in the 60s. About 50 cents a piece you could buy those. Boy scooters for about $5. Let's see, bacon was 79 cents a pound. Bananas were 10 cents a pound. Cheerios were 25 cents a pack. Fast food hamburger for 20 cents. You remember McDonald's when they advertised that you could get a whole meal for under $1? I remember that, and get change back. You get change from your dollar. Frozen chicken pies were 29 cents. Ground beef, 45 cents a pound. You guys don't care about any of this stuff. But here, these are some interesting ones. In 1960, a new house, and maybe some of you guys bought a house and still own it. A new house cost about $12,000. Can you imagine? I mean, if you could buy something for you can't even buy a car for $12,000. In 1960, a gallon of gas was 25 cents. 25 cents for a gallon of gas in 1960. The average cost of a new car, of a brand new, nice, shiny, brand new car, was $2,600. And you could get a Volkswagen Beetle for $1,700. How many people had a Volkswagen Beetle bug? A funny story. This is a true story. 5 boys in my family were all over 6 feet tall. My dad was 6'5". So for some reason, he bought a Volkswagen, and my mother had passed. But he could put all 5 boys and himself, so 5 big kids, and my dad in this. My littlest brother would cram in that remember the little cubby back behind the seat in the back? He would sit back there. Ford Mustang 2-door hardtop for $2,300. Yeah. Minimum wage was $1.
$1 an hour.
$1 an hour, $1 an hour. Wow. Well, we got a couple more songs here. Help Me Ron. We did Surfer Girl, yeah. While they were recording, the Beach Boys, while they were recording this song, Brian was having a lot of problems with his father. His father was assumed manager of the group. He just stepped in and called himself the manager, even though really Brian Wilson was majority of the talent and the direction and the ideas in the group. And this next song that we're going to sing, his father didn't like the song. He thought it would never work and nobody would like it. It's called Help Me Rhonda. And needless to say, not only did his father get fired from being the manager of the group at that time, but Help Me Rhonda became a huge hit. She put me down, I've been out doing in my head. I come in late at night and in the morning I just lay in bed. Ronnie, you look so fine, take much time for you to help me run and help me get her out of my heart. Help me run, 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 yeah, get her out of my heart. She was gonna be my wife and I was gonna be her man. Run, run. But she met another guy between us and it ruined our plans. Rhonda, you caught my eye. Reasons why for you to help me, Rhonda, help me get her out of my heart. Help me, Rhonda, help me, Rhonda. 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 Help me, Rhonda, yeah. Get her out of my heart. Mr. Barbara Ann played the boogie woogie. Help me, Rhonda, help me, Rhonda. 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 Help me, Rhonda, yeah. Get her out of my heart. Okay, we got one more song, Surfin' USA, one of the Beach Boys' biggest hits.
Cue the band.
Everybody at an ocean across the USA. Come on out and dance. Then everybody be surfing. California, yeah. You see them wearing their baggies, Sorachi sandals too. A bushy, bushy blonde hair. Surfing USA. You catch them surfing at
outside
the
USA.
Turner County line.
Inside, outside USA.
Santa Cruz and Transco, Australia's Narrabeen, all over Manhattan, down the Highway. Everybody's gonna surfing USA. We'll all be planning out a route we're gonna take real soon. We're waxing down our surfboard. We can't wait for June. We'll all be gone for the summer. We're on safari to stay. Tell the teacher we're surfing USA. Haggerty's and Pacific Palisades, San Onofre, Sunset, Redondo Beach, LA. All over Wailea Bay. Everybody's gone surfing USA. Play it, Barbara. Everybody's gone surfing USA. Everybody's gone surfing USA. Yeah, everybody's gone surfing USA. Yeah, everybody's gone surfing USA. Yeah. Thank you. We had fun. Maybe next time you see us, we might be the Beatles or who knows what. Thank you. We love coming here. You guys are an awesome audience. We had a great time. Hopefully you did as well. Huh?
Where'd you get the shirts?
Oh, we get the shirts. Kohl's for $19.99 on sale. Thanks to Gary. Gary found them.
Gary got them.
And he got all the. How many people shop at Kohl's? Doesn't it crack you up? You don't just go there and just buy. You go to the shelf and it's like the shocking price that's what they call the real price, and then there's their discount price, and then but of course you came with a coupon, and then if you use your credit card, use your Kohl's credit card, so you go through all these channels. Like, why don't they just charge that price?
That's right. Yeah.
Anyway, we're done. Thank you.
Free enterprise.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.